Hi, I'm Ashley Morrison and we're back at Live Fitness with another of Perth's soon-to-be well-known, we hope, athletes in Madison DeRosario. Madison, it's good to catch up with you.
It's good to be here.
Now, one of your unique achievements was you were one of the youngest ever Paralympians. I think it was 14 years and 10 months when you went to Beijing.
Yeah, it was something like that. I think I might have been the youngest in our squad at the time.
Was that a big surprise to get selected, or did you always have in the back of your mind, I've got a good chance?
No, absolutely not. It was the biggest surprise. When I started racing, I was aiming for maybe London if I was lucky, and we got a call about the Beijing Games literally 3 months before the Games. It was confirmed. So it was kind of up in the air for a few months for that, for the relay team and nothing else. And so I definitely was not expecting it, no.
And then when you got to Beijing, it must have been even better to come home with a medal.
Yes, that was one of those surprise silver medals. It's been described a few times, where there were some really strong teams we were competing with. There were the Chinese and the Americans, who are very strong squads. And even when we did get the silver, it was so close to the Americans team for their bronze that we didn't even know if it had happened or not. From where we were on the track, because I had the first leg, me and the second girl, we were waiting, and you can't just see the finish line from where we were. And our girl and the American girl crossed the line and looked like the exact same time. And it was the most nerve-wracking thing waiting for the results to come up on the board.
What did you think when you finally saw Australia's name come up on the board in the silver medal position?
It was the biggest shock. I don't remember what the actual thoughts were, but me and a girl, Christy Dawes, we just sat on the track just screaming for a good couple of minutes until we were told to clear off the track.
Must have been fantastic. Now, before we talk about obviously your athletic career, can you let us know, obviously what happened to you, how you happened to be in a wheelchair in the first place?
I have what's called transverse myelitis, and I think when I got it, it was maybe 1 in a million or something. So I think I'm pretty special having it personally. It's a viral infection kind of on your spinal cord, where your body sort of attacks the myelin sheath around your spinal cord, and so only that part of my spine is damaged, but it just paralyzes you from mine here down. So.
And how early did you get involved in obviously wheelchair sports, and when did they identify that you had a pretty special talent?
Well, Gary Lees from Wheelchair Sports Studio was chasing me since I was 4, so as soon as I got in a chair. And finally, when I was maybe 12, we thought we'd try a couple of sports. Tried out basketball and tennis and stuff, and none of it really stuck. I mean, it was fun for like a week maybe. But then I went to try out basketball this one day, and the guy who coached that, Frank Ponta, he was at the basketball. He actually happened to have a race chair in the storage room, and so I tried it out in the car park for maybe 15 minutes, and I have loved it since then.
Now you are pretty remarkable because you don't just do one sprint event, as we heard. You got a silver medal in the 4x100 relay, but you do the 100, the 200, the 400, the 800 and the 1500, and even longer distances as well.
Yeah, for London I'm meant to be specialising in the 1 through to the 800. But I have raced on the track up to the 5,000. I haven't done the 10K on track yet, but up to the 5,000, and then some road races as well, more for cross training for the sprints. But I think they're loads of fun too. So,
I mean, how do you? Because obviously there's a sprint and then the middle distance. They're very different races. Is it very different for you preparing for those?
Yeah, absolutely. Like for us, the 800 is more of a mid distance, whereas for the runners it's more the 400. So it's kind of weird trying to get the hang of how you race an 800, because you want to sprint the whole way because it's not that far, but then after 600 metres you realise you can't really do that, so you have to work out how not to die before the last 200 is really it.
Have you learned that?
Only recently.
Now Louise Savage is one of your coaches. Obviously she's well known in Australian Paralympic sport, an absolute legend. Is she a tough coach to work with?
She is such a tough coach. Like I remember this one session, I thought I was doing really well, and at the end I just got yelled at because there was something I just wasn't realising that I was doing wrong. And she's brilliant. She picks up on things that I would never ever notice, and she knows when to push me, when I need a break, and she's fantastic.
Now, she obviously went on to get involved with marathons and everything. Is that how you see your career progressing eventually?
I'm not sure about marathons, but I like the longer distances. I think they're more fun. There's more tactics involved. It's more exciting. At the moment, as I mentioned, Lou's getting me to do sprints for London. But I think later on I might see how I go at distance, maybe before Rio, give it a shot and we'll see how it goes.
Which is your favourite event? You said there you like the middle distance a bit more. Is it the 800 or the 15, which gives you a little bit more time to be tactical?
I think the 15 and the 5,000 are the most exciting races. But at the moment, my 400 is looking pretty strong, so I'm thinking of focusing on that for the moment. But in terms of fun, I think the 15 and the 5,000 are definitely the best.
Do you know where you're sitting in the world at the moment for London? What chances are you of getting medals in all the events you're looking to take part in?
Well, I'm not sure. We just came back from World Champs in January, And I was coming off an injury then, so it's hard to tell, you know, where I'm at, but I came 5th in all of my events, which was a little bit frustrating. It was consistent, but I had to drop the 800, 1500 for that meet, so I just did the 1, 200, 400, which is a little frustrating, but as I said, came 5th in everything. But I think that was only off 3 weeks training, so I think come London I will have much longer to prepare for it. So I'm really hoping to be in medal contention. I think I can if we get all the training right up until then.
It might be quite good actually coming 5th, because everyone dismisses you
No one
now, and then
suspects you.
come London, then you can take them all by surprise. Can you just give us an idea of what your sort of average training week is like? Because obviously I would have thought it's very different to a lot of athletes.
Yeah, lose all of the mind of not doing as few kilometres as possible, because of our sport there's no way to recover. Like in the other sports, if you're walking around doing something else, not training, you're using different muscles. Whereas for us, if we're in our race chair or in our day chairs or doing anything, it's all the same sort of movements. So she's of the mind to do as few Ks as possible and kind of get them as efficient as we can. So she's only letting me train once a day, 5 times a week, and then we're getting into gym pretty soon. But it's more trying to make each session as efficient as possible and do as little distance as you can.
How difficult is it, because she's based on the East Coast and you're over here in Western Australia?
Yeah, it's more miscommunication we have sometimes, where she'll ask for feedback and I'm not really sure what exactly she's looking at. At the moment we're having a few troubles with my starts, where we've switched the gloves I used to push in, and she's trying to understand if they're good or bad, but of course there's a lot of troubles going on at the moment with that. But she's really good. Like, I fly over there quite a bit. Athletics Australia's flying me over soon for a couple of weeks. So I live at her house, which I'm not sure she likes. But I train with her and her other athlete, Angie Ballard. And so that's good. I mean, before, when I was still in school, it was a lot more difficult to kind of get time to go over east for that. But now that I'm taking a gap year, I'm travelling a lot more over to see her, and I think it's making progress.
Does this mean that we may actually lose you to WA for a while? Because, I mean, obviously it's sad. We see so many athletes developed here and then they have to move over east just because coaching's there or the facilities are there.
Yeah, I mean, I've been asked that a lot lately, actually.
We don't want to lose you.
I mean, it's an option, and Lou's really supportive of that idea of moving in Sydney with her. But I don't know, my family's here and stuff, and it's kind of nice being in Perth. It is far away from everything else, which kind of has its perks, I suppose, but not anytime soon.
And how important, you mentioned family there, how important is your family support or having them around and keeping you grounded?
Oh, hugely. I remember coming back from Beijing, and I must have been so arrogant, but they really kept me grounded. And I mean, you come home and everyone's like congratulating you. My family was really supportive of that, but it was more, no, Maddie, we're back home, now be quiet. So, I mean, they're fantastic with that. And I mean, my mum drives me training every day and comes to me on the bike. And then my dad gives me feedback on, different things that, I mean, he's like, his work line, he's got an idea on like physics and stuff. So he gives me tips on like my technique in my race chair and where the power's going and stuff. So they're all really, really helpful.
Now, I believe you've also got a website that people can get merchandise which will help you get to the Olympics, is
That's my dad's thing. That's another one of his lines of work. Yeah, he's designed this entire website and he's got it all set up. I'm not sure what the store's called actually, but he's like designed t-shirts and stuff and it's all pretty cool. But
so if people Google you, they can find it?
Yes.
Well, Madison, it's been great talking to you. We hope to see you at the Paralympics, and let's hope you can pick up several gold medals over there.
Thank you.